Okay, hi everyone. This is my first DAW tour, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. So I am using GarageBand version 10.3.2. I believe this is the most current up-to-date version. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Preferences. So for my output device, I'm just gonna be using the built-in output, and for input, I'm doing the system settings. I'm using the built-in output because, I don't have like a speaker or anything that I'm using. And I'm just using the regular settings for input because, I'm not using any instruments or anything like that. Here is where my MIDI would show up if I were using any. I am not. Let's see. So these are the counting bars. If I want to turn on and off count in, that's over here, as well as the metronome. I think that'll, yeah, you can hear it. Yeah, so there's that. It also displays up here, which is great. Let's see. So to set and toggle the loop, you use this button over here, right next to the record button. So you hit it once and it'll turn yellow to like activate the loop, I guess. So you can move it around to be at whatever measure you want it to start at. Say I want to start it at the third measure, I could do that. Also, if I wanted to, make it 4 measures long, I could, move it around back and forth a little bit. For the time being, I'm going to pull that back over there. So I'm just going to go ahead and record. I guess I can get, some notes in here. That way I can start messing with that. So I can either go to Window and hit Show Keyboard or Show Musical Typing, but typically on my computer I just go ahead and hit Command K, and that will pop up the musical typing, which is what I prefer to use as opposed to this keyboard here. So yeah, this is my preference. For recording, let's see. Yeah, I have it set at 2 bars as a count-in, which is my preference. Let's see, what can I do for a loop? Sure, let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and record that. I actually messed that up. I should have had that loop set longer. I'm going to go ahead and re-record that. All about trial and error. Okay, so I'm going to re-record that really quick. Okay, that should be good. Have a quick listen. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. So if I wanted to add in another instrument on top of this, I would go over to this plus button over here and add new track. If I wanted to add another instrument that's already in the GarageBand software, I would hit this. If I were using a microphone or connecting like a guitar or something to my MacBook, I would choose one of these 2 options for inputs, and then there's the drummer option as well, which I'm not going to use. So I'm going to just keep my 1 track in there for right now. So that's how you do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and add some effects on this. Let me get this out of the way. So one thing I actually just found out how to do, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not very experienced with GarageBand or with beat making really, but this is just some of the things that I found through messing around in the software a little bit. So I found, I'll go back and kind of show how I did that. So I'm going under the plugins. This is a plugin that already comes on GarageBand. It's called Pedalboard. You can get to it by kind of going from the pull down menu, and then it's under amps and pedals, and then you go over to the pedal board, and then if you turn it on, it will pop up. So I'm going to mess around a little bit with the, ooh, yeah, that's the one I had in there before. I'm going to go ahead and mess around with a couple of some of these presets, and then, you know, just pick one for now. Some of them can be really loud, so yeah, that's not my favorite. Yeah, that's the one I was using before. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna stick with Retro Chorus. So that's the one I liked using earlier. Let's see. Okay. So if I wanted to, let's see, what can I do next? Okay, I guess I can go through EQ and stuff, because that's pretty quick. So you can turn on and off the analyzer down here, so you can see exactly what frequencies you're working with. So if I wanted to, I think this is already from how I'd set it up before starting the video. Let's see. There, that's what I was looking for. Let's pull that up. So if I wanted to manipulate that, I can move it around. I think this is pretty much where most of the pitches are, so that's where I'm going to focus the EQ. So there's that. Let's see, what else can I do? I can, yeah, let's do that actually. I'm going to go through and quantize the little loop that I just made. Let's see, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. That was too far. To select the entire thing, and then I'm going to go ahead and quantize it. I currently have it at the 16th note setting. So I'm going to set it like that, and then let's do a quick play, see how that sounds. Sounds a little bit funky, let's see. What I wanted. There, okay. Let me just delete that one, let's see. I don't like where those line up. So if I wanted to move around where the notes start, as well as manipulate the pitch, I can move them around like this. Let's see if that was a good fix. I believe everything's all lined up. Good enough for me. Yes, that's pretty good as it is. Let's see. I can play with the velocity. Let's see, where was that? I think it was here. Yeah. So this is if I wanted to adjust the individual velocity. I think with, let's see, where was that? The effect that I put on before, I think that kind of altered the velocity a little bit, so I'm going to turn that off for the time being. So go ahead and play that. If I wanted to so I can move, I just currently selected the entire section for right now just for the sake of this video. So if I wanted to adjust the velocity up and then down, I can do it like so. So I'm going to say for now, for this track, I think I kind of want it to be more kind of off in the distance and quieter. So I'm just going to put it down here. See if that's good. Can't hear that. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'd say that's probably good for now. Let's see, so I quantized, I did the velocity, copy and paste. Let's see, so I go ahead and hit the selection to grab this portion of the track, and then I hit Command C, and then say I want it to come in 2 measures later. At measure 7, then I'm going to hit Command V to paste. Pretty straightforward and simple. Yeah. And then say if I wanted to split the measure that I had, it's kind of weird though because you know, the notes that I played, it's kind of prolonged over the 2 measures, so it wouldn't split well, but for the sake of this video, to split, you can hit Command T in GarageBand and say I just want to use the first half of the track I just recorded. I can delete this second half like that. And then say I wanted to move it over, I can just drag it back and forth. Yeah. There's that. So I'm going to go through and do the automation quickly. Let's see. Where were you? Here. Okay, there we go. So for now, I think I might just play with pan, but if I wanted to do other elements of automation, I could do that here. So I could, you know, change volume over the course of the track or something. So I'm just going to play with pan. So I still, I think, have the whole track selected. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So if I wanted to add in a dot where I wanted it to change, I just hit a double tap and the dot will change, and say I want it to pan from one side to the other. You could do something like this. I think that worked. Let's see. And then maybe I want to add another dot there. Let's see what that does. Okay, so I believe it's panning, but it's really hard to tell actually with just using my external speakers on my laptop. The last thing I have to do is export just this track into like a wave format. So to do so, let's see. yeah, you can go to share and then export song to disk. And then you can change the format you want to export it to. So let's just go ahead and say I'm going to do the waveform, and then you can choose where you want it to end up in your computer. So export that. And then one thing I kind of already addressed is the stop button, the play button, and then if I wanted to record something, I would hit this, and then the stop button also doubles as the go back to the beginning button. And I think that is everything.